Mr. Schatzline, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield for some questions?
Yes, the gentleman yield for questions. The gentleman yields.
Thank you. So, Representative Bucy, do you believe that there are differences in male body composition, biological male body composition, and biological female composition?
What are we talking about, at birth?
At any stage of life.
Do I believe that there are differences between men and women? Yes. Yeah.
Did you know that male athletes are on average 15.7% heavier than female athletes?
Is that true after they've transitioned and gone through treatments and hormone?
Absolutely. Did you know that male athletes are 7.4% taller
What's your source on that?
than female athletes? This is actually from a study on Baylor College of Medicine in 2021.
And you're looking at what now?
A study from the Baylor College of Medicine. So, to answer my question, do you know that male athletes are 7.4% taller than female athletes as well, on average?
I'm sorry, I missed your question.
Are you aware that male athletes are on average 7.4% taller than female athletes?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, well, it's a known fact. Do you believe that having biological males compete in women's sports provides more or less opportunities for our daughters?
I believe that having trans women not be discriminated against and compete in women's sports provides more opportunity for the children and young adults of the state of Texas.
Here's a better question. Do you believe it's fair for a biological man, because that's who we're talking about, to receive a scholarship that would have otherwise gone to a biological woman?
I believe that trans women should be allowed to compete in the state of Texas at all levels, and that the colleges are handling this issue just fine.
I believe they should be able to compete as well in their biological sexes competition. Do you believe that biological males should be able to enter our daughters' locker rooms?
I believe that trans women should be treated equally and that the state of Texas should not discriminate against any Texan.
So just to clarify, you believe that biological males should be able to enter our daughters' locker rooms
I
and
believe
undress
that
in front
trans
of them?
women should not be discriminated against by this body or by this state.
Just to clarify, what you're saying is you believe that biological men should be able to undress in a locker room in front of our daughters.
I believe that the state of Texas should never condone discrimination, including against trans women in the state of Texas.
And do you believe that to be the case in all sports, that biological men should be able to compete against biological women in all sports?
We should not discriminate against trans women in the state of Texas. We shouldn't do it from this front mic or from the back mic, and we shouldn't do it in the laws we pass.
And
we're in danger of doing that today.
Just to clarify, let's just indulge me for a moment. You believe that biological men should be able to compete against our young women in basketball?
I'm sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear the question.
You believe that biological men should be able to compete against biological women in basketball?
I believe that trans women should be able to compete in women's sports.
How about wrestling?
I believe that you mean women, men, height? I mean, you know, I run a youth sports league. We have wrestling. Wrestling's based on height. It's based on weight.
Okay.
You've got weight classes. I believe it's 15 levels.
How about in boxing?
You're the wrestling expert, though, from the back.
How about in boxing? You think that a biological man should be able to beat up on a girl inside of a ring?
I'm sorry, you want a man to beat up on a girl?
That's what I'm asking.
No, I don't
think
a man should beat up on a girl. No, I do not think that.
So you would believe that
I believe that trans women should be able to compete in any and all sports of women's sports.
So you don't acknowledge
but I don't believe adult men should be beating up on girls.
You don't acknowledge that your definition of a trans woman is, in fact, a biological man who's going through transition.
My definition of a trans woman is a trans woman. She tells me she's a trans woman, then I'm going to trust her, and I'm not going to discriminate against a fellow Texan.
Right. So just to be clear, final question. You believe that a biological man should be able to enter into our daughters' locker rooms, compete against them, remove their scholarships, and take away opportunities for our daughters?
I don't think adult men should be going into our daughters' locker rooms ever.
I would agree with you on that. I don't think biological men should.
Is that your question? Because that bill does not deal with adults and children, which is what your question is.